Welcome to Conversion Conversations. This is Cameron, and today I'm taking a look at Transformers Generations Studio Series Gamer Edition '07 War for Cybertron Sideswipe. And like I've said several times, these toy names are getting to be a mouthful. Here we have Sideswipe with his little War for Cybertron background diorama. It's some sort of like highway system that's been damaged by the war. And here is Sideswipe. And if you didn't know, this is actually the second War for Cybertron Sideswipe we've gotten. We did get another one, but it was in the Fall of Cybertron toy line, and it was a remold of the Fall of Cybertron Jazz, and it wasn't great. Because of the remolding, it didn't tab together. This one looks pretty dang nice. I really like here I feel like the angle between the wheel well, the difference in height between the wheel well and the windshield is really slimming. It makes the car look fast. The details on the back end look great. We have some nice pearlescent red plastic that I think catches the light really well. And then the glossy black paint on the windshield really helps catch the light. It's just very reflective, and it gives him little like anime speed lines, even if you're just like kind of spinning him a little bit. We have some nice silver painted detail here. He does come with this gun, which is a neat looking gun. It's got a little magazine here, looks pretty cool. We can put this on here. We can also, I think, put this on here if you want it pointed down. I don't know why you would, but you can. Or you can put it on him shooting behind him. If you remember, I haven't kept a ton of these gamer editions. I think they're overall they're okay, but they haven't wowed me. But I do have a comparison. Ooh, I also like the wheel style here, that War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron glowing wheels. I dig that. I do have Barricade, and this is an interesting comparison to me because this feels nonsensical in terms of scale. I am again astounded that Barricade is so big. This is in the same toy line. Why is Barricade so massive compared to Sideswipe? It feels like either Sideswipe should be bigger or Barricade should have compressed down more. I don't know. I think they kind of look okay together, but the size difference really makes them feel like they're not both cars. They're both supposed to be fast-ish race cars, and they don't really feel like that to me. Just the difference in the size. It is something I want to point out because if you do have the original Fall of Cybertron Sideswipe or his mold mate Jazz here, these are basically the same size, which I thought was really interesting. Here's how they look together, and I think they look really good together in a way that Barricade and Jazz didn't. Sideswipe and Jazz really do. I dig it a lot, to the point that I don't know that we're going to get a remold of Sideswipe into Jazz because it wasn't a great remold choice in the first place. But it does make me pretty excited about if we get a Gamer Edition Jazz. I mean, I think I'm absolutely going to upgrade from this toy. But he does roll pretty dang good. If you notice, his back wheels, due to transformation, they do kind of buckle out in an odd way, but it doesn't seem to impact his rolling too much, and he's got clearance. The only other thing I think to do is now transformation. To start, we'll take his gun off. We're going to come in on the back end, and these wheels, if we angle them right, this tab will flip out and lock in a place on either side, locking those wheels so they don't spin anymore. Next, we can come in and on his rear fin, we can lift this piece up. It's going to disconnect. We can swivel it around and prep for the next couple steps that come down the line. Then up front, we're going to lift this whole section up, and it's going to get out of our way. The last thing we got to do before we can take the legs out is untab these side panels, which I really struggle with. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to try and untab. So the side panel connects to the arm, and the connection the arm has to the center mass is much weaker than the connection of the panel to the arm. So usually when you pull this, the arm's just going to come off. And so we got to really get in. There we go. Okay. So the arm did disconnect, but it didn't actually pop off. And we do have our side panel disconnected there. Let's try on this side. It is, I'll say, okay. It's gotten easier over time, so that's good to note. I think I would shave down, I'd shave down these notches just a little bit, take a little bit of the plastic thickness off, and that'll help even more. Next, this kind of came undone already, but we can unfold these red panels here. And with that done, these heels are tabbed in. Well, this one's not. This one can fold out all the way. You can see what I'm talking about. This one can do the same thing, fold out and spin all the way around. Then we can reconstruct the legs by flipping this panel up, and this slot goes into this tab that we just undid. This piece, so we were connected up top. Now we're going to flip this around, and it kind of fills out the side of the leg in a clever way. We can fold down the heel. Same thing on this side. Fold it down, fold that in, fold this up. Oop, that ball joint came loose. No big deal. Click it, come down. And yeah, the transformation, if you can tell, it's a little fiddly. It's a little loose, especially the hips. We'll get to the rest of it. We're going to come in up top, and with these arms, they are connected to these slots on either side, but like I said, they come loose due to transformation. We can pull these sections down. We can flip this section down, and we're going to flip his head up. And we kind of build his like collarbone here. We're going to attach the tab on his neck platform to the slot on the front of his chest. These two pieces, these gray pieces, they're going to come down, and they're going to slot into the slot that we have created between those two connections. Then we can bring our chest back up, click it into place. Our back is essentially clicked into place already. Then we can flip out our arms on either side. And here is Sideswipe in his robot mode. And like I said, when he's not a remold of Jazz, this is a more accurate Sideswipe. My biggest complaint just in appearance is he feels a little lanky in the thighs. I think the panel here along with his shin helps give his shin mass, but his thighs seem a little anemic to the rest of his body. He is also, if you notice, he's loose, which is unfortunate. For articulation, we can start up. We have a nicely articulated head, which is nicely painted. I do really like that head sculpt. We can do 360 on the shoulder. It kind of goes out at an odd angle because if you notice, our joint for the shoulder goes up at 45 degrees. The shoulder doesn't go out to 90 even with the help of that joint, which is unfortunate. We do have bicep swivel. We do have a deep double jointed elbow, which I appreciate. It exists on both sides, even though this arm can do the gimmick of the line. We can pop off his arm and put on his gun. The wrists on both sides, they can just do this. They can't really twist anywhere. We can twist here. If we get his backpack out of the way, we can twist even more at the waist. We can do not a full Van Damme unless we're rotating this up. If you go down, it kind of wants to angle down, which is a little unfortunate, but you can rotate this up and you solve that problem, without it being too big a deal. We do have thigh swivel here. If you notice, like as I'm moving him, things are untabbing. That is my biggest complaint of this figure. We do have a 90-degree knee bend. We do have ankle tilt in, do we not have ankle tilt? Hold on. I could have sworn we did. This can rotate. I was wrong. I assumed because I saw this pin right here, I assumed there was ankle tilt here. There's not. So that's like a big miss on this figure's articulation. And if you can see, like these joints aren't tight. It's stuff that can be future floor polished. These knees, I don't know about those. The thighs can definitely be future floor polished, but the pin joint here, that being loose, I don't know if it's something that can be fixed. He's, decently posable. He's got a major miss in his ankles, but it wouldn't be that big a deal if he wasn't floppy, and him being floppy is really annoying. The gimmick is still here. If you notice, he measures up to barricade a little better in this mode, and just like with the other toys of the line, if you take Barricade's gun, you can take off this gun and you can swap it out for a different gun. I still think that doesn't look great. I still think it's a big sacrifice you're making on the toy. I think his arm we can take and we can wedge it back here for storage, which I appreciate that there is storage, but it just isn't value added. It is funny that both Sideswipe and Jazz, they were once remolds of each other, now they are independent molds. They still suffer from the same floppy knees, which is really, really unfortunate. I like the way they look together. I think that they'll look nicer together if we get a Gamer Edition Jazz, but as a stand-in, like, this isn't bad, but it's the same issue that I've seen in Gamer Edition over and over again, where the fit and finish isn't quite there. There's stuff sacrificed for the gimmick that doesn't add value. In this case, it's really weird that the alt mode on Sideswipe is so much smaller than the alt mode on Barricade. When I first played with it, I was like, okay, the transformation's a little fiddly, but it's kind of cool. But now that I've transformed it a couple more times and the figure's posability and floppiness is here, I don't think I recommend this. Maybe if it's on sale, if you get it for like 20 bucks, maybe $15, you know? If you're a really big War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron fan and you want one, then, you know, I mean, you're going to be happy with it. But as a toy, Gamer Edition still hasn't impressed me. The closest we got, I feel, might have been Starscream, Optimus Prime or Starscream, but the toys just haven't gotten there. Fingers crossed that they get another shot and they do a new Fall of Cybertron or War for Cybertron Jazz and they knock it out of the park. I'd love to see that. But as is, Sideswipe doesn't impress me. And so, I'm not going to keep this guy. I fiddled around with it. I'm happy enough having fiddled around with it. I don't need it in my collection. If you are a War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron fan, if you just want a new toy, here is your chance to get Gamer Edition 07 Sideswipe for free. Go down in the comments below and answer this question of the day. Out of the War for Cybertron specifically, not Fall of Cybertron toys, out of the War for Cybertron figures and characters, what is the one that you want to see most of in Gamer Edition? I think for me personally, my answer is going to be Jetfire. I would love to see a Voyager class Jetfire. I feel like in the games he was smaller than he is in traditional Transformers media, so I wouldn't mind him being Voyager class. And he didn't have the see-through cockpit, so he's not going to look as ugly as Starscream would. I would like to see a War for Cybertron Jetfire as a toy, and maybe that'll be cooler than these Gamer Edition deluxes. But if you haven't entered my giveaways before, you're going to go down in the comments. You're going to answer that question of the day. What War for Cybertron character do you want to see next in Studio Series Gamer Edition? Tell me you want to enter the giveaway, and then 1 week from today, so next Thursday, the June 13th, during that video, I will announce the winner. I'll have drawn and I'll have that winner announced, and then you reach out to me on any of our social media and I'll get it packed up and shipped out to you. That's it for today. Thanks for checking out this look at Transformers Generations Studio Series Gamer Edition 07 War for Cybertron Sideswipe, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye!